Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
Welcome to this Your Daily 180 Bible study. We're talking about choices. And we're talking about the fact that we need to make good choices. We have the ability to make good choices. We're looking at studies in Joshua, and this is very key. Here's one of these occasions where we can learn from someone's bad choices. Here's the point for today. If you want to make good choices, don't make a deal with the enemy. In Joshua chapter 9, Joshua and the leaders of Israel were deceived by the enemy. God told them, don't you make any treaties, don't you make any deals with the inhabitants of the land. The Gibeonites come riding up, and they've got on old clothes, and they've got their sandals are patched up, and they've got wineskins that are old and dried out. They've got moldy bread. They say, well, we left the house. This bread was hot out of the oven. Look at it now, all old and moldy. And they said, well, we want to make a treaty with you. Okay, let's do it. But I want you to notice something very key. Verse number 14. Then the men of Israel took some of their provisions, but they did not ask counsel of the Lord. So Joshua made peace with them and made a covenant with them and let them live, and the rulers of the congregation swore to them. I want you to get this. Did you get that phrase right there? But they did not ask counsel of the Lord. Because they're going to find out real shortly, they're going to find out, you know what? These people are not from a far way off. They're just over the hill, so to speak. I mean, they're our neighbors. God told us not to do that, and here we've done it. How did they make that mistake? They didn't check in with God. You know, a lot of times folks will make a deal with the enemy because they don't consult God's Word. What does God's Word say about this? What's God's Word say about this particular religion? What does God's Word say about this particular behavior? What does God's Word say about this particular place that I want to go? Wouldn't it be wonderful if every action in our life we stopped first and said to ourselves, what does God say about this? Because you see, it will keep us from making a terrible mistake and making a deal with the enemy. Now tomorrow, we're going to talk about the consequences of making a deal with the enemy. Israel learned from that, and we need to learn from their mistake. Thanks for being with us today, and join us again tomorrow for your Daily 180.